What's up, everybody? It's Rick, and welcome to Frostpunk, a game that's been out for a few years now, but I'm just getting around to playing it, and I'm surprised it's taken me this long, and frankly, I tried to play it when it first released, but this game is tough as nails, both in the actual game mechanics and also in the sort of plot and setting of the game. It's tough, it's bleak, but boy, is it a lot of fun when things work right. Well, fun seems weird because let's talk about this bleak setting. Y'all seen the movie Snowpiercer? It's a lot like the movie Snowpiercer, except we're not surviving on a train, we're surviving in a crater, surrounded by this generator that's dependent on to keep everybody warm and safe from this world that is completely frozen over. There's not a lot of hope in this game, but hopefully we can beat it together, all right? I played this game not from start to finish yet. I haven't gotten through the very last part of the game, but I must have restarted this game at least a dozen times, if not more, trying to figure out the most efficient, perfect way of setting up our town. And though I'm sure I haven't got it completely perfected, I feel as though I can get us off to a good start and hopefully weather the storm. Fingers crossed, all right? So we're going to get into a new game here, and we're going to select the new home main story scenario. There are all these other scenarios that maybe we'll play if you guys have enough interest in this game, in this series, but for now we're going to do a new home. To preserve civilization from the chaos of its own downfall, we have fled to the end of the world. We will have to adapt to survive. Who will we become in the process? We're going to get started here. And there's going to be this cutscene that's sort of going to establish the world for you, so I'll see you guys on the other side.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
All right, everybody. We're going to build a new home. We fled London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach a site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. And here is our generator, y'all. We gotta fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. And so what we're gonna do to start things off here, I'm gonna pause and here. So I have read a lot about this game. I've seen people sort of bicker back and forth. This is the best way to start the game. No, this is the best way to start the game. I'm just going to show you guys what I feel is the best way to start the game. It's my best way to start the game, at least, and it seems to have worked for me pretty well so far. Before I do anything, before I assign orders or anything like that, I'm going to go into our building menu, go into tech, and build a workshop. Workshops are going to be needed in order to start teching up, and here's what I'm going to do. So let's explain the game here for those of you guys who may be uninitiated. I know I was before this, and the game doesn't really hold your hand as far as tutorials and explaining the systems of the game. So let me just tell you, this is the generator. This is what's going to keep us warm. Right now it's shut down. We need to get coal to fuel it, and that's going to be the main impetus of this game, is going to be finding coal, keeping this thing going, because as we level this generator up and heat more people, hundreds of people who come to our city in order to survive, it's going to demand more coal. So we're going to get it turned on to level 1, but there's going to be rings. We're going to build the city in rings, and so this first ring that's going to go around the city is going to be for our housing. And there's actually going to be probably, in the end, 3 rings of housing around the city. So what I'm going to want to do in building this workshop is, this is going to be the first ring here, 2 squares worth, 2 squares worth a second ring, 2 squares worth a third ring, and then on that 4th ring, that's where we're going to start to build our workshop. And then this is to build streets. We're going to build a street up to that workshop, and then just like that, the workshop is now being built. So we have 65 people out of 80, 65 who can work. We have 15 children, we have 50 workers, and 15 engineers. The children can't work yet. If I wanted to press them into service, I could if things got desperate. I haven't reached a point where I need to do that yet. I'm going to try not to work the kiddos. But we can put to work everybody else. I'm going to put people to work gathering wood, gathering steel, importantly, gathering coal. For the time being, we'll have them gather this as well. I'm going to use my engineers and my workers to do this, and then I'm going to go ahead and speed it up to the very fast game speed so we can get through here. Once this gets built, we'll pause here, and then I'm just going to draw my 5 of our engineers off here, because only engineers can work at the workshop. We're going to pump 5 engineers into there, and we're going to begin researching. So here's where people, have differing opinions when it comes to important things to tech first. Now, here is me personally, what I've been finding pretty helpful. I'm going to just do the drawing board right away. We need 2 more wood in order to do this. So I'm going to let this run. Just there we go. Just another second there. And now we're going to just research drawing board, okay? That's going to take all the wood that we've gathered, but drawing board is going to unlock a new tier of technologies for us, and one in particular that's going to be pretty important, okay? So our people will work until 1800, at which time at 1800, the workday is over. Okay, and now, let's see what this person wants first off. This lady, people from our convoy, family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. She urges you to hurry. Okay, we'll see what we can do. So before we go into the nighttime here, I'll just go to 1 speed here. We have 61 wood, 43 steel. We have 167 coal, so we can actually turn the generator on now. We have 100 raw food, which we will then convert into food rations once we build a kitchen. Okay, before we get that going though, let's go ahead and use the nighttime to build some tents. All right, and I'm going to build tents. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to start by building 4 tents. That'll have house of our people, or house half of our people. Half house of our people? Oh, okay, Rick. No roof over our heads. And this is exactly what this fella's telling us. Captain, we're understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They're falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. We'd better do something about it. So I can say I'll provide some shelter, or I'll provide all shelter. I have 2 days to do this, and I think I can provide all shelter in 2 days. That shouldn't be a problem. And then we got this person who's telling us, you know what, words of wisdom, listen to the crowd, but sometimes you don't need to do the best thing as long as you do something. So you'll notice it gave us 2 options. We could have housed half of the people, or we could have housed all the people. I'm going to house all the people because that should give us a little bit more hope, I believe, if we house all the people. And you can see here as we build homes, each tent holds 10 people. 40 out of the 80 people are now housed. Tomorrow we'll work on housing the other ones. And you'll also notice during nighttime, they don't work, so research isn't getting done, but there is a book of laws. And if I wanted to, I could have emergency shifts established, and then I could, from there, have extended shifts as well. If I do that, discontent is going to rise. I'm not going to do that unless I have to. For now, we'll just go ahead and work with our regular working schedule. So we've got some sick people. We've got some people becoming sick. And I've got a little bit of wood left over, actually. So I'm going to... Actually, no, I can't make... I'm 4 wood shy of making the medical post. Okay, we have 3 sick people. We're going to want to get them some help here. I think they'll be okay in the long run, but tonight I'll want to build. Okay, drawing board has been researched, so let's go ahead and look into some more research. So the reason I did drawing board, there's 2 big things on this tier 1. There's bunkhouses. Bunkhouses are better than tents because they're better insulated. Our people will stay warmer in there. We won't have to rely on the generator to keep people warm as much. But here's the real reason I did this. So we can get access to the wall drill. It's going to cost us 20 wood and 10 steel in order to research that. And this wall drill is going to give us access to a ton of wood, and wood is crucial in this early game. Not only do we use it to build pretty much everything, but we use it to research a ton of stuff too. So if we can get our hands on a great supply of wood early game, then we're gonna give ourselves a huge leg up. Okay, it's telling us about food, so, you know, food's important, obviously. Tonight, we're going to want to get a lot of stuff built. Food is going to be one of those things. Wall drill was researched right before the end of the day. Perfect. We could even work on the wall drill if we wanted to. So we're going to need a new tech, and the new tech that we're going to get next is going to be Beacon, all right? The Beacon is what's going to allow us to start searching outside of the crater for other things, other resources, other people to bring back to our city. But for tonight, what do we want to build? We want to make sure to give shelter to everybody who is unsheltered at the moment. And we're going to want to make sure that we get that medical tent as well. So right now we have 1 day and 1 hour left before we have to build all of the tents. So I'm going to build most of the tents tonight. I'm going to do... Actually, I could build all the tents. For whatever reason, the math in my head wasn't working out there. But yeah, we can build all the tents. We can build the medical post as well. And I think that we could even squeeze in the cookhouse. So I'm just going to build the cookhouse, but we're going to need to do hunters' huts as well, because the cookhouse is only going to cook the raw food. It's not going to create the raw food. We're going to need hunters' huts in order to get us raw food, and we're going to need quite a few hunters' huts, to be honest. So another thing to mention, I'm working my people at night. I'm having them build at night. And if you want to be efficient, have your people do builds at night and have them work during the day. I'm taking 5 engineers off there in order to put 5 engineers into the medical tent. Now our sick people can be treated. And now we've got people, we're going to need people in the cookhouse cooking. And what you can do is, this doesn't really work for the cookhouse because the cookhouse is closed during the night, but the hunters, they hunt during the night. And what you can do is you can bounce people back and forth between night and day. So people will only collect and work during the day, but they'll hunt at night. You can use the same people. You can take 15 people from here and then move them into the hunter's hut at night and then just bounce them back to collecting by day. Inexplicably, people in this game, they don't need sleep apparently, and there's no penalty for doing that. All right, so we're going to need to get some, let's see, we're going to need to get that wall drill in pretty soon. And we're going to need to go collect some more wooden stuff today. And the wood crate's depleted. Okay, so you can see that if we go here, there's only 34 more wood in this pile. The wood pile will deplete itself. So will the coal over here. The coal, there's 131 more in there. We've got a few piles here. Once these are depleted, we're going to need another source of supplies, which is why we have that wall drill. And let's go to the wall drill, actually. The wall drill is going to cost 20 wood and 1 steam core. So I'm going to wait till we get up to 20 wood here. And as a matter of fact, you know, we've got people who are no longer working on collecting that stuff. So I'm going to move you to there, and then I'm going to move you to here for now. Okay, there we go. And now let's build ourselves a steam core, all right? or the wall drill, excuse me. So the wall drill, it's going to use a steam core. Steam cores, it's worth mentioning, you can't create steam cores. At least not in this point in the game. There's one point where you could sort of create steam cores, but at this point in the game, you cannot. I'm going to go ahead and put this, and you have to put it into one of these areas right here. And it says not adjacent to a street because we're going to need a street. The game is explaining steam cores to us, just basically what I just said. You can't manufacture them. You can only find them, so use them sparingly, but this is going to be a good use of them. I'm going to go ahead and make a road going from there to the town, and you know, I'm going to actually, I don't want it bisecting here, so I'm going to go from here up to there. There we go. Okay. And beacon has been researched, so we're going to want more research too. So let's actually take a look up here. Day 3. We're on day 3. You can see sort of a calendar here, and it's showing you events. So right here, right after day 4, the temperature will drop 2 levels. Things are going to get chilly, and we're going to need to make sure that we research heating. All right. And quite honestly, we're not going to research all of heating today. Things are going to get a little chilly for our people. We're not going to want them out here collecting, and as a matter of fact, we've got 15 people here collecting wood. I'm just going to move them over here to gathering wood at this. They don't need to collect from there anymore because this is going to be a million times more efficient. And so it's going to drop, the temperature's going to drop first thing in the morning, which is going to shut down a couple things for us, but we'll be able to quickly get that stuff back online and get some stuff built. Most importantly, we're going to want to get that beacon built ASAP. As a matter of fact, we could do that tonight. And so this street, I'm going to want a bank of workshops here. So workshops take up 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 1. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 2. 1, 2, 3. I will build, actually, let me see. I'm trying to gauge this out here. If I put the beacon there, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Count with my fingers here. Okay, so I'm going to move the street a little bit is what I'm going to do because the street is a little bit off. So if I do that and then I put the beacon down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, that's 3. There we go. We're going to put the beacon there. And then we can actually do the street up like that. Just move it around. Okay. And we've got a lot of people who are working right now, or who can work, who aren't working. We're going to need to find jobs for them. I don't want them going out here to collect because they'll get very cold doing that. You can see that we're out of coal at the moment, which is going to be a huge problem. We're going to research heaters. And once we do research heaters, after we watch this balloon go up, so the beacon's going to go up and up and up. It's going to expose the world. We've got a couple places of interest, the Lost Expedition and the Gloomy Cave. So now I'm going to zoom back in. We're going to have to get 40 wood and 5 individuals in order to create a party to send them out. All right. But let's talk about what we've got going on here. So the medical tent right now, it can't be used because it's too cold. So we need to research heaters so that we can heat that and turn it back on. Over here, it's telling us that we're ready to search, and people are really stoked about this. We need this win. And I've got 26 wood. Okay, good. So I'm not going to gather this by hand. What I am going to do is put it in order to build a street going up this way. And now, rather than have people just collect this by hand, well, technically they will be collecting it by hand, but they'll be collecting it into a gathering post. I'm going to put this gathering post down, and you can see that the gathering post, that circle, people will collect any resources that are on the ground within that circle. And it's only going to take 10 people to do it, whereas it would take 15 for each pile before. These things are highly efficient. And we've got this going. Like I said, we've got a lot of people who aren't working. So I was mentioning how during the day, it's a good thing to have people build during night, work at things during the day. But since we've got so many free individuals at the moment, I'm going to have them just take some time and build some stuff today. Another workshop in order to double our tech productivity would be a good idea. We need to get those hunters' huts going. So I'm going to build our first hunter's hut. There we go. And heaters are researched. So now I can, boom, turn heaters on here. and we're going to need to get our hands on coal immediately because we're running so low on coal. This has been built. I can go ahead and put 10 people in here. Now the 10 people will begin gathering coal from there, and we need to build a street going to this hunter's hut. And like I said, the hunter's hut, people hunt at night. So I don't have 50, or I can put 15 people on this job, but if I needed to use those people during the day, once they hunted and they come back, I can go ahead and just re-sign them to a job here in town. Okay, so now I've got 2 workshops here. I've still got 10 free individuals who can go do stuff. I really don't have anything for them to do at the moment. What I can do is take 5 of them and turn them into a scout. Now, the Lost Expedition here, that is part of our quest, but I'm going to send them to the Gloomy Cave first, okay? That's where I'm going to send them. And because I've done this before, I know what things they're going to find at the Gloomy Cave.
Night is coming.
Okay, night is coming. And things are pretty good for us so far. All our sick people have been treated. We've got the 2 workshops going. We just need to make sure that we have enough coal to last us through the night, and we should. We've got people out looking for food right now. You can see that they're only collecting 15 food per day, and I need to get some more research going, by the way. I should have started more research yesterday, and that was a little bit sloppy of me, honestly. There's a lot of things that we're going to need. We're going to need to get our hands on a coal thumper because eventually we're going to run out of coal to use on the map. We don't need to worry about the sawmill because we got the wall drill, which is so much better. We're going to also need a steelworks eventually, but there's a few things that we'll need before we do that. The Hunter's Hut is one of them. Hunter's Gear, this is going to allow us to collect up to 20 raw food per Hunter's Hut rather than just 15, which is really good because 15 is a lot. We want to research Bunkhouse 2 as soon as possible. I want to get more scouts as soon as possible, but you know what? Honestly, let's do the bunkhouses first because before I get an exodus of people moving into town, I want to be able to make some bunkhouses for them to live in. And you can see that on day 6, it's going to warm up. Early day 6, it's going to warm up again. So that's going to be tomorrow. Oh, at this point, it's too cold here. I need to turn the heater on there as well. And what I could do,
Work time. Get back to work.
I've only got 5 people who can work, but what I was going to say, what I could do is build a road going out here. I should have done that last night, honestly. A little inefficient, again, of me, but we can make this work. I'm going to do another gathering post here as soon as I can get my hands. Actually, I don't have any steel in order to do that. I could have people just go gather some steel here today. You can see that it's very cold. They're going to get sick if they do that. Ooh, do I want them doing that? No, I don't want them doing that. That's fine. We'll wait on the steel. I do need steel, but we'll wait for that. All right. At the moment, we're just going to have 5 people not working, and that's fine. Oh, and hey, our explorer arrived at the Gloomy Cave. All right, so let's check this out. Beset by beast, we can hear terrified shrieks coming from a cave uphill. When we come closer, several polar bears turn towards us, blocking the entrance. There are people trapped inside, and those beasts are picking them off one by one and feasting on them. Okay, so we can leave the bears alone. Everyone in there will die. Or we can risk attacking the bears. And then we will get all of those survivors. You can see 12 workers, 19 engineers, and 4 children in there. But I'm putting our scouts at risk. And hey, we succeeded. We had to help the survivors. When our scouts attacked the bears, the people in the cave joined them, and together they drove the beasts away. Then they all set out towards the city. So we're going back to the city now, and we're bringing with us, how many individuals was that? That is going to be 31, 30, is that 35? 35 people are coming to the city. Let's go to our economy tab real quick. This is a good idea. A good overview of how our city is doing. You can see that we are net positive, 240 coal per day. Food, we're going to need more food. Clearly, 15 per day obviously isn't going to work out. And then over here, this is our housing. So we have 80 people, we have 80 beds. We need more beds before those people arrive. And they will be here in 7 hours. So I can just go ahead and make tents for now, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to upgrade those tents eventually. There's 10, 20, 30, 40 beds that we can give people. Bunkhouse has been researched, but we're going to need steel to make that. So I can't build them yet anyway. Now we can do Hunter's Gear. I'm going to do Hunter's Gear in order to get more And more food. And then food, I'm going to do 2 more hunters' huts for now. So once we get hunters' gear research, that'll be 20, 40, 60 food per day. And I believe that 1 food converts to 2 rations. I believe that's the way the math works out. So that'll get us 120 food, which should be enough. Okay, everybody arrived. There they are. Our tired, huddled masses coming to the crater. Reunions. It's heartwarming to see families reunited after so many hardships, but shouldn't there be other settlements nearby? The first expeditions left London long ago. They ought to be well established by now. They'll surely help us find our footing. We'll look for the others. Okay, so now I can go ahead and send our person out. We can send them to the crash site, or we could send them to the Lost Expedition. What I'm going to do, I'm going to send them to the Lost Expedition, and here's why. We've got all this wood. We've got extra people at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, never mind. I can't put together another scout. We need to research that, and we will. But I'm going to put together another scout very shortly. Okay, we're building those houses. Everybody is housed now. Fantastic. Now I can put people into these hunters' huts. And tomorrow it's going to finally warm up, so I can go get this steel finally. There we go. We're going to put more people into here too. Oh, and you can see I've got 19 individuals, but a lot of those are engineers. What I need is workers. So, is there any place that is using engineer or using workers over engineers? I don't think there is. And this is fine, because this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. What I can do is take people from here. I'll take the 10 people who are working here, reallocate them to this hut here, and then I'll take 1, 2, 3 people here and reallocate them there. And now these people won't be working the drill in the morning, but as soon as they come back from their hunt, you can see they're about done. I can reallocate them. There we go. They're done hunting. So now I can go ahead and take the people from here off of the hunt, put them back here. There we go. And put you guys back here. Perfect. Okay. And that is the micromanaging, efficient way of doing those kind of things. So let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. It's going to warm up now. And now that it's warm, let's go into our heat overview. I can go ahead and switch these heaters off to save some coal. And we can start to collect this stuff now. So I'm going to build I'm going to have to collect this old-fashioned way first. There we go. And let's do another workshop, because we have all those engineers, right? I need to get 5 steel in order to do another workshop. But another workshop would be good, since I have all them engineers. Hunters are going to gather more food now. And there's, let's see. I'm going to want to research a lot of this stuff. Let's take a look at our timeline. So we're a few days out from the next temperature drop. And when that temperature does drop, the people in the second ring, they're going to be pretty chilly. So I'm going to want to go into my tech, and I'm going to want to get generator range upgrade. But when you upgrade the range of the generator, it's going to double the consumption of the coal. So I'm going to want to make sure that we have a good source of coal before that happens. I also want to get more scouts. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Okay. It's going to take 8 hours to research more scouts. And now that I've got some steel, let's go ahead and build some things that we're going to need steel for. So we're going to do the gathering hut right here, and then I'm going to do the workshop right here. Okay, we've got a couple things to build here today. And then as soon as 1800 rolls around, we're going to pull people off of these jobs and reassign them to our hunters, okay? More scouts is research, just like that. So now we're going to go to our resources, and I'm going to do Coal Thumper to make sure that we have enough coal so that when we do research, the upgraded radius will be able to fuel it. Okay, so we've got people there. They're not going to work tonight there, though, because it is 1800 now. Time to take people off of here and reassign them once again to the hut there. And you can see we have got 13 sick people. We've got a lot of sick people. Not good. We're going to need more people to keep them healthy.